Ako po si Andre Confiado. Kakatapos ko lang po ng aking graduate studies ng aking Master of Public Affairs sa Institut d'Études Politiques de Paris or also known as Sciences Po Paris. Tapos ko po ay isang Master of Public Affairs. Noong 2009, tinapos ko po yung aking Bachelor of Arts in International Studies sa LaSalle, DLSU Manila. Pagkatapos po nun, nagtrabaho ako ng 1 year and 2 months sa IOM, yung International Organization for Migration. Tapos 2 years sa HSBC. So, nung habang nasa HSBC ako, nag-decide akong mag-apply for graduate studies kasi gusto ko talagang mag-MA. And nag-apply po ako dito sa Paris. And nung natanggap po ako, kaya po ako napunta dito. Actually, it's really one of the well-known schools sa field ko, yung in political science, international relations. Kilala talaga siya sa buong mundo. And talagang isa siya sa mga school na gusto ko talagang puntahan ever since. Dahil sa aking personal background, nakapag-aral ako in France before. So nung naghahanap na ako ng grad school, isa talaga siya sa tinarget ko. Well, obviously, Paris is Paris. I mean, kilala talaga siya. It's the #1 tourist destination in the world. Siguro I think they get mga 10 million people every year. So parang practically yung buong population nila doubles in 1 year dahil sa mga turista. So I mean, there's a reason why gusto talaga siya ng mga tao puntahan. And it's napakaganda talaga dito in terms of architecture, in terms of the history behind all of the buildings na nakikita natin. And ang daming, the birthplace of modern democracy was also like partly born dito sa Paris. So sa totoo lang, with all the culture, history, architecture, tapos it's a very vibrant city. Buhay na buhay siya. Daming cafe sa labas, bars, everything. So tapos obviously you have the Louvre Museum, the Musée d'Orsay, the Orsay Museum. So parang kung meron kayo gustong puntahan, kung anong mong gusto nyo, meron siya dito. Well, sa totoo lang, in the beginning, madami sa kanila hindi nila masyadong alam ang Pilipinas. For obvious reasons, siguro medyo in terms of political and French interest, medyo konti lang, at especially before. Pero one of the things na napansin ko is that, especially in the past 2 or 3 years, gumanda ang reputation natin, mas nagiging kilala ang Pilipinas. Kasi madami ng projects na nangyayari. To be honest, maganda rin ang nagawa ng administration para i-promote ang Pilipinas overseas. Na yung reputation natin has really gone up. So madaming nag-i-invest ngayon sa Pilipinas. So mas madaming nakakakilala sa Pilipinas. And secondly, this is siguro coming from yung experience ko lalo na sa Sciences Po and yung mga ibang estudyante. Madaming pumupunta sa Pilipinas to do like internships or madami rin kilala sa kanilang Gawad Kalinga, to be honest. Magandang trabahong nagawa nila to promote yung kanilang social entrepreneurship. So madaming pumupunta ngayon sa Pilipinas for that. That's just one example. Pero in the past 2 years, 3 years, or since nung nag-exchange student ako nung 2007, 2008, madaming nangyari. So talagang it's becoming one of the main destinations para sa kanila in Southeast Asia. Kasi they had their own colonies in Southeast Asia before. So you had the quote-unquote French Indochina. So ngayon nag-explore na rin sila outside of that. Well, obviously it's a very challenging challenging program. Getting a scholarship is never really easy, lalo na overseas. So, kailangan maganda yung academic background mo. You really have to show yung very strong interest in what you want to study, and you have to be able to convince them, okay, bakit ka namin kukunin, and bakit ka namin bibigyan ng grant. Kasi most of the time, kung bibigyan ka nila ng grant, it's really for tuition and yung living expenses. So malaking bagay siya, especially for someone from the Philippines, lalo na most of the time ang ating mga kababayan, ng income natin is not that high. So really it's a very not challenging, pero very strict ang requirements nila. Well, sa aming mga estudyante, kasi kokonti lang kami. Kokonti lang kami na nag-decide mag-aral dito kasi well, for one of the things is yung language barrier. Obviously, hindi naman tayo necessarily marunong mag-French. So, lalo na yung mga full-time students dito sa France and Paris in general, konti lang kami. But one of the good things ngayon is that actually dumadami na yung mga estudyanteng nag-aaral dito. Kasi na pinopromote siya ng French government. I will definitely give credit to the French embassy in Manila and the French government and the work of the Philippine embassy dito sa Paris kasi talagang gusto nilang i-promote yung higher education institution sila dito. And
Particularly, anong course yun?
well, ang madami dito actually is business. Business and finance ang pinakamadaming mga that counts to many students. And actually dumadami na rin yung mga nag-i-increase. Meron din mga luxury in fashion kasi obviously it's also one of the fashion capitals of the world. Pero yung natutuwa ako is meron na rin mga ibang klaseng degree seeking students na pumupunta dito. Merong isang nag-Gregorian chant, which hindi ko rin alam na meron palang Gregorian chant school. Meron din kami na-meet ng mga oncologists, so mga medical doctors coming here to pursue their study. So, I'm very glad. Sabi ko nga one of my friends na umaasenso tayo dito. Sa totoo nga lang, 'di ba? Nasabi nyo nga, we are one of the countries that are gonna be the most hit by this phenomenon. Pinag-uusapan lang namin to ng dad ko nung isang araw. Dati daw nung bata siya, parang ang tag-ulan is May to August. Tapos ngayon, umaabot na siya ng end of November. I mean, Yolanda was in November. Tapos minsan, nagkakaroon na tayo ng bagyo up to December. Which wasn't the case before. We're getting around something like 20 typhoons a year. Tapos, it's really frequency and intensity ang nadadagdag sa Pilipinas. So, and we're in the firing line, we're in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Tapos, parang first hit tayo lagi with the typhoons in Southeast Asia. So if there's one thing that the Filipinos can do is like definitely we're a testament to to the effects of climate change. And we definitely have to do something about it kasi iisa lang naman ang planet. Iisa lang naman ang pwede natin tirhan sa buong mundo na to. And ang hindi ko lang maintindihan personally is bakit there are some people who are still denying it, some business people na, to be quite honest, for me, medyo short-sighted ang tingin nila when it comes to this climate issue kasi sabi nila, hindi, wala namang mangyayari. I don't see the effects. Pero scientists have proven this without a doubt that we are accelerating the change of the climate and we're the only ones who can do something about it. Wala namang ibang force na that will be able to stop yung ginagawa natin except for us. And I think if there's one thing that we really have to tell the people is that you shouldn't just count on your state or your government or the companies to do something about it. Dapat ikaw rin mismo personally you have to do something about it. I mean minsan it's a small thing to do pero like kung naliligo ka pwedeng maganda yung system sa Pilipinas may timba at saka tabo ganun ka na lang maligo pero kung may shower ka off mo naman. Or one of the things na napansin ko minsan sa Pilipinas, mahilig din tayo magtapon sa kalye. Minsan, may one time, nasa loob ako ng isang kotse, nakakita ako ng tao nagtapon ng isang bote ng 1.5 liter na Coke sa EDSA. Sabi na, bakit mo gagawin yun? Expecting na, merong maglilinis after you. It shouldn't be, kasi it really starts with you. And minsan even just the little things that you do, the smallest thing that you do can have an impact on, at least kung hindi man sa buong mundo, it will have an impact on your immediate environment at sa sarili mo at sa pamilya mo. So if it starts with you and then it will grow out. Para sa akin.
An ownership.
Oh, definitely. I mean, nararamdaman natin kung anong nangyayari. Mas madalas na tayo binabaha ngayon. Nag-aral ako sa Lasal Taft. Ang Taft Avenue laging binabaha. And it hits everyone. Walang hindi matatamaan ito. So if we don't take ownership, I don't see how we can resolve this. I mean, can be proud about it, diba? Biro mo, for example, COP21 is going to be held here in France next week. Tapos, pinuntahan talaga ni François Hollande ang Pilipinas just to show na, I mean, sadly, the Philippines are an example of what can happen and the devastating impact that climate change can have. Sadly, tayo ang natamaan, pero in a sense, parang the lesson that we can take from it is that, we are at the forefront. And I'm proud of the fact na talagang Pinoy has decided to make it a priority. Kasi, it's also the times, parang
Sorry, could you complete na lang? President Aquino, parang, ito na Pinoy.
si President Aquino is, decided to really put it front and center, make it a priority. Kasi importante talaga siya. And it's I can't say like he doesn't have a choice, but he definitely made the right choice. And everyone Filipinos overseas and Filipinos back home can definitely be proud of that. I mean, for me, ang knee-jerk reaction when it comes to terrorism is basically what happened after 9/11 in the United States, or kung anong all of a sudden ginawa nila dito sa France. Obviously, you increase your security measures, you try to weed out all of the terrorists hiding places and the cells in the area. But that's just you're just trying to cure this. You're just combating the symptoms. Pero the underlying cause nun is something completely different. And if there's one thing that we have to be able to do is to really try to understand the underlying causes. I know medyo malalim siya, but kung puro na lang tayo bomba and puro na lang tayo increase security measures, babalik at babalik din lang sila. It's an ideology na, it's a fundamentalist ideology. Kung kahit anong sabihin natin, iba na yung pag-iisip nila. They're really out there. And so, if there's one thing that we have to understand is why do people decide to do that? Because I personally think and feel and hope that people aren't inherently evil. Sana naman hindi tayo laging ang gusto lang natin is, ito lang ideology natin, patayin natin sila lahat. Hopefully not. Pero there are definitely underlying reasons. Like for example, dito sa sa France, ang nakikita nila is yung mga na ostracize and the people who are, at the margins of society are usually the ones who go and do the jihad. Tapos ang unfortunate fact din there is that most of them are the Muslim immigrants here in France. When you think about it, yung mga the ones who did the terrorist attacks here were French citizens. Pero they grew up in an area where, the people here saw them as, parang dyan na lang sila. Let's put them there, wag na natin sila masyadong pansinin. And this is the parang sort of consequence of a policy that they created 30, 40 years back. So if there's one thing that they definitely have to try to understand is kung bakit nila ginagawa yan, and you try to solve it starting from there. So you look for the underlying cause. Well, it has definitely helped in terms of propagating information at a pace that is unseen, that has been unseen before. Parang it has never been seen before. Grabe, like all of a sudden you get 100 messages from people through social media. But at the same time, it can also be a source of either misinformation or disinformation. So parang pwede na rin kung ano-anong nakikita mo sa social media, maniniwala ka ba kagad? Not necessarily. It shouldn't be the case. Dapat we have to be informed, pero you also have to be a critical thinker. Kung anong nababasa mo, hindi mo na lang siya paniniwalaan kagad. Kasi it might not necessarily be true. Pero if there's one thing that social media has done is that it has helped in terms of disseminating the right information, and it also helps in terms of being able to communicate also with your loved ones. Lalo na all of a sudden yung mga nasa Pilipinas nag-pour in ng mga messages, and social networks have helped with that. Yung mga nandito sa Paris, definitely we have to do our part. We can be proud as Filipinos, and we can be proud of the fact that we are at the forefront of this I don't want to say fight kasi parang napaka-combative. I mean, we're at the forefront of this climate issue. And we are the ones who can do something about it. Tapos siguro yung mga nasa Pilipinas, alam naman nating mag-election na next year, and we have to be an informed voter. Importante 'yan. We tend to be driven by emotions when we're going out to vote, and importante na we keep in mind kung anong importante, not just for ourselves and not just in the short term but also for the entire nation.